Well, there's been, on my part, a lot of thinking and trying to figure out what it is we're going to do and different stuff. And I'll tell you more about that after. But today was voting, and I went and did that, and Sid's doing checking people off the lists and everything. She volunteered to do that, which I enjoyed, and I'm going to go skiing for a little bit, which gives me a little bit of exercise time, and then I'll tell you about all the stuff I've been trying to figure out and think about, and also a big prospect that I think could be a good potential for both of us in the coffee business. We'll see. Well, I had a nice visit with everybody, and unfortunately, you know, it's easier in the summer to do this trip, because when I start to head back now, it's like, you know, 5 o'clock. It's not late or anything, but basically the bulk of this trip is going to be in the dark, which doesn't really bother me. I'd prefer it in the light, but that's how it goes. Tomorrow, I think we're going to go skiing, or I'm going to go skiing with at least one of the grandkids. I'm not sure if it's going to be two. We'll see on the way home how all that went. But next I've got to make a pit stop to get a coffee, which, you know, that's one of those things. When I'm on the road with the coffee, I don't get to brew what I want. It's sort of a make do. You get the cream and the sugar to make it tolerable, tasty. I don't know. You know, it's not what I enjoy, but I need the caffeine. Even though I don't understand that. Caffeine doesn't keep me awake. Maybe, I don't know. Because I can drink it. It's, I guess, something to do. It's not like it keeps me awake, because I can have one and fall asleep. So it must be the act of drinking it keeps me awake, not the caffeine. Maybe that's it. Well, it's Vermont vacation, remember? It's the skier kids. We'll have to get some shots, so when you're coming down, you can show Mommy how good you're doing skiing, okay? Turns, Griffin, turns. Good job. Oh yeah, and we have this winter, since I've been around, the kids have, two of the grandkids have been skiing a lot more, and one of them has become like fanatical about going skiing, the one you just saw in the picture, and started, I think back in January, we were sitting on the ground having a hissy fit, I can't do this, blah, 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 to yesterday we were skiing on the top of the mountain. So she's made some really good progress. Now, the other one, he's doing well, but he's a boy. He has a little listening comprehension problem, shall we say, of he's gonna do what he wants to do. Okay, well, it was a very good morning skiing. It got really warm. It went up to 50 today. And that makes kind of mushy snow, and I don't like mushy snow so much. But that's not what I was going to talk to you about. What I've been doing, and you haven't seen a lot of me, is that I've been trying to figure out some things. Our first month with, coffee and selling roasted coffee went wonderful. Great. Last month was like a whole different ballgame. Not good at all. So I've been trying to figure out the why. What is it that, people don't understand specialty coffee, that it's not just something that you open the bag, dump about this much into the coffee pot and go on your business. You can do that, but it's not going to give you the same type of flavor. If you're going to just put that into it, it's not going to... You'd be better off buying a cheaper one, in honesty. If you're going to take the time to brew it with the right proportions and all that kind of stuff, you'll find there's a big difference. So, I just did one video that'll be up today too, I think, depending on how the internet is, about brewing it with a Chemex. Yes, there is a little bit more involved in it than doing that, but again, it's not super complicated. So I've been playing with all these kind of things of thinking of, is it because it takes more effort? Is it because people aren't used to it? Is it because, for a lot of people, they don't drink coffee like that? They're not used to it. I really don't know and that's why I've been spending a lot of time thinking about, okay, what is it that all these people bought coffee, but then didn't buy it again? Sid just had somebody today, which we gave coffee to January, yeah. And she said, so how'd you like that coffee? Oh, we haven't used it yet. We're saving it. And it's like, yes, it is special coffee, but it does have a life expectancy. Coffee after 3 weeks is on its downhill side, and by after a month, it starts to really lose a lot of its unique characteristics and tastes. So it's not something you really want to save. So the other thing I've been thinking, I've been going to, different coffee shops, and very few of them, none so far, use a pour-over coffee, where you would go in, and I know this is a common factor at other places, probably more in the West Coast or big cities and stuff like that, where you could walk in and say, hi, can I try that Ethiopian Yirgacheffe? And, your friend next door here is going to say, yeah, can I try the Kenyan blah, 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 whatever type? And you get that coffee made just for you. It's ground up there. It's brewed right then. It doesn't come out of a big pot that kind of thing. And nobody I've found. So everybody I've seen is all using espresso-based drinks, lattes and cappuccinos and all that kind of route. So I looked and said, okay, well, maybe that's something more I should look into. So that I've been spending time learning about, espressos, how they're made. I bought a relatively simple espresso maker. There's, from what I've done so far, which is very limited, by the way, on a very small scale, on a very unprofessional, let's say, because I'm not a barista. I don't know all the exacts of that. So I'm playing with all of that, and I'm still waiting for the license from the state to come through, which, I don't know, it seems to be taking a little bit longer, before I start branching out and trying to hit other cafes, co-ops, places like that that might be interested in having our coffee. So that's basically what I've been doing. I've been trying to figure out the different aspects of how to proceed with the coffee while I have the time. It's winter, I don't want to be all over Kingdom Come. There's not a lot of other things. So I go skiing, I ride the chairlift. While I'm riding the chairlift, I don't have to think too much about skiing. So I think about, okay, is it better to go espresso? Should I be adding more flavors? Like, should I buy an Ethiopian variety or a Kenyan variety and see what people think of that? And just not quite sure which way to go. So I've been sitting. On a positive note, I had a guy who's seen these videos and everything else, and he's not in the coffee business yet. And he contacted me down in more southern New Hampshire, and we're thinking of doing something together where he's going to open up a cafe type thing, specialty coffees, different ones, and I would provide him with the roasted coffees. It'd be a great opportunity. I think it could work for both of us on both our ends. He's talking about, to start, maybe 50 to 100 pounds a week. Wonderful. There's a lot of little particulars on that end that have to be. He's got to find the store. He's got to set up how he wants to do it. We have to talk about a whole ton of different things. And like I told him, I'm not, if he's going to be one of those people who wants to nickel and dime me like, oh, I can get this coffee from Charlie for 10 cents less a pound or whatever, I'm not interested. Not anymore. I'm not going that route. These coffees are specialty coffees. I know I pay more to the people who farm them and everything else. So I'm not going to go that route. We also give to charity from those. So that's gonna, but he agreed. So now we just have to wait and see what comes of that. And like I said, I think it's a good thing. I think there's some good possibilities that can happen with that. How it all plays out, I don't know. So that's what I've been doing. A lot of coffee thinking.